Hi, folks. Hi, folks. We were talking. We almost missed the thing. Yeah. That's Shelley. No, and then I made the mistake. I didn't ask. It's Miland, right?
Miland.
Miland. I knew I would be wrong. That's Shelly Miland, who is our guest tonight, right there on the left, and then Beth on the right. And look at us all with matching. Isn't that touching? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
nice.
It's almost like a uniform. Yeah, almost. Yep. Welcome, everyone. Good to have everybody here. Shelley, so kind to share some beautiful samplers. So we're going to enjoy those tonight. Really appreciate it, Shelley. This is going to be fun.
Yep.
Just a few announcements. Thread Talk next Sunday with Kathy Ray.
Not Sunday.
Not Sunday, Wednesday. Okay, this is going to be a good show tonight, I can tell. With Kathy Ray on Wednesday, we have that. And then on January 26th, on the January 23, Hillary Waters Fail is our guest, Sunday the 23rd. And then she will be with us live on the 26th. And I'm going to do a little tease for you here. That is her stitching on a leaf. Here, let me just make this go away for a minute. That's her stitching on a leaf. She is an amazing talent, just amazing. And and I've got 10 or 12 photos of her stitching on leaves of all kinds and all kinds of stitching. So that's what we're going to get to see and talk to the artist about on the 26th. So the 23rd will be the podcast, and then on the 26th, Hillary Waters Fail will be with us to talk about how she does these things. But yeah, that's on an actual leaf, not some fake thing, the real deal. So yeah, so that's coming up. And then I do want to call your attention to what I think is maybe the best Krista West Avlia embroidery design yet, her Tree of Life. It's a new one. I really like that.
Fabulous.
It's gorgeous.
Yes.
Gorgeous. Absolutely love those colors.
Yep. One is in the mail for us to give away. A full kit is on its way to give away next week or the week after. Well, it depends on when it gets here. Yeah, and if you buy from Avlia, of course, let her know that Fiber Talk enabled you. But I really think she hit it out of the park with this one. So we'll have one to give away next week or the week after. But yeah, beautiful work there. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Elizabeth Taiedo of Dames of the Needle is with us Sunday. She's our guest Sunday. And then I learned earlier today that Kim at Sassy Jack's has most Rosewood Manor and Plum Street sampler charts 25% off. Beth?
Enabling.
Beth, 25% off, Beth.
Yeah,
Rosewood
yes.
Manor and Plum Street, Beth.
Thanks.
So 25. Kim is getting ready to move into the new place and needs to lighten her her inventory load. So help her out. Let her know that I let you know about this. 25% off Rosewood Manor and Plum Street, most of the charts. And of course, most of the charts of Rosewood Manor, that's a lot. So now, Beth, that's 25% off.
Right. So all of you don't buy them all while I'm working tonight. Wait until after I'm done, and then I can go and click. Now, unless you want me to be clicking while shopping while we're doing the show.
You could take a break.
Yeah,
Do it on your break.
We'll at the bottom of the hour, we'll pause for Beth to order. That's what we'll do. Teal says my wallet just screamed and ran away. There we go. Okay, so check that out. SassyJackStitchery.com is the place to go, and Kim will fix you up. And then she also has those skeins of MPI silk. Oh man, where did I do
I could order Rosewood Manor,
right there.
and then maybe I could get one of that gray silk.
Yeah, that
really
gray that
pretty
she
gray
showed
one.
us. Yeah, Right there, a full skein of MPI silk right there. Man, that's beautiful.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. She has those too. So there you go. There's your enabling for the evening. No charge for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. 25% off, Beth.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Here to help. Here to help every day. Okay, last week's winner of the Pasha, Avlia Pasha kit was Kathy Zabel, or Zabo, S-Z-A-B-O, Zabo or Zabel. And she already got it today, so she let me know. So she has it in her hot little hands. But so congratulations to Kathy on that. And lots of giveaways tonight. Lots of giveaways tonight. You see the stuff down at the bottom. But first, a heads up. I had last week 3 or 4 people do multiple entries. No. 1 entry per person. I zap you out. So you're down to 1 entry. And if you keep doing it, I'm going to bounce you all the way. It's just 1 entry per person. It makes it fair for everyone. Hitting send does not, there's no benefit. So please just help me out there, because it does make it hassle. It was an extra 10 minutes now of scrolling through all of them, making sure we didn't have any duplicates. And so it's just hassle. So please don't do that. Please don't enter multiple times. Now we got 2 sets going tonight. Okay, and for new people, if there's any new people here, the way we do our drawings is you send an email during the show, and it's only for people who are present at the live show. So it's right down there at the bottom, right there at the bottom. You send an email to Gary@WeTalkFiber.com. And tonight, you're going to put in the subject line beads or a separate email, and you're going to put in pot. And that's not marijuana. We are not giving away marijuana tonight. I'm sorry. I've used it all.
Man, Gary. Man.
Okay.
Rats.
So there's two places to enter. You can enter in one, the other, or both, but only 1 time in each. Okay. So 2 email, and then in the body of the email, you put your, I have no idea why I'm holding my fingers like this, but I am. In the body of the email, your name, address, so that we can mail it to you, because it's really difficult to mail if we don't have an address. So for the pot subject, if you enter for pot, then this is, we have 3 of these now. 3, I'm holding up 3 fingers so you can see that we're giving away 3. 3 of these Gayan Rogers, a flower in its pot sampler. And here I'm just going to go like this, so it's just me. And let's see, you can still hear me. Good. Okay, so this is the Gayan Rogers, a flower in its pot sampler. That's where the pot came from. So that's those three winners of a chart of these. Well, the chart is, I don't know how many pages, 12 or 14, whatever. I mean, it's Gayan Rogers, so it's full metal. But so flower in a pot sampler, and if you haven't done, I'm sure it's on Congress cloth, and it looks like some embroidery and some pulled thread and some things. But don't be afraid of that, because Gayan will fix you up with the instructions, and you'll have a good time. So that's for pot. So you put your in the subject line, just put the word pot. Don't put anything else. And then it will go to that mailbox for those. And then the others from Jan Michaels, and I completely butchered her name because I didn't have it handy, and sorry, Jan. We're going to use the subject line beads. Beads. And I'm pretty sure these came from Jan. These are all things from when we moved. So, but I'm pretty sure they came from Jan. So we have a Mill Hill bead kit, tree shopping.
Cute.
It's a full kit. Full kit. All right. And then this one cracks me up. Spring Bouquet Collection. This is the Spring Bouquet Collection, but it's a hamburger. It's a hamburger.
Those are fun to stitch. Those are a lot of fun to stitch. I haven't done the hamburger, but those are a lot of fun. Those little
full
ones.
kit, beads, thread, everything. So you can stitch a hamburger to hang on your Christmas tree. How about that? So it's even
Gary, I think it's a cheeseburger.
It is a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
They have mislabeled this. They have mislabeled it.
They've mislabeled it.
Yes.
Man, so if you're lactose intolerant, please be careful.
And it says magnet included. magnet included. So anyway, so you can stitch a cheeseburger. Looks almost like a Whopper, doesn't it? You know, got all the layers, all this
Are you
stuff.
getting hungry after your marijuana?
Yeah, and I just had dinner. So those two, and then also under beads is a little pin cushion from Blackbird's Bird Designs L'Épaulé, a French pin cushion. I don't know how that's different from an English one or a Spanish one, but L'Épaulé from that Blackbird Designs. So those three, so 6 winners tonight. 3 under beads and 3 under pot. One, the other, or both. You can enter one, the other, or both. It doesn't matter, but only enter once in each of them. So all 6 of those live show attendees only. Send your emails before the end of the show because I do the drawing right after that. Let's see. Inherited Stitches. Oh, she's a burger lover. Okay. Bacon cheeseburgers. Well, you'll have to create your own bacon to go in there. Yeah, we're not doing any design work. So
No.
Create your own bacon.
That's it. That's it. So do that. I'll leave it. Get this quickly because I don't want this in the way of Shelley's samplers. So we'll just have a moment here, and then I'll take it down because we don't want that laying over Shelley's samplers. We are not here to offend Shelley. How about that? Let's see.
No.
2 other things. One is always looking for volunteers to do this, as Shelley is doing tonight, to share your work. It's really easy to do. And I have someone for the first Wednesday in February, but not after that. So if you're interested in doing that, we would be glad to have you. You just send me an email to Gary@WeTalkFiber.com and we can set it up. It's easy. It's not nerve-wracking at all, is it, Shelley?
Absolutely not.
No.
Fun. Easy.
There we go, right there. All right.
Who wouldn't want to talk about their needlework? I don't know.
Yeah, there we have it. All right, so speaking of that, tell us now, we're going to see all samplers tonight, but that's not all you do. How did you get, where does your stitching? You've been doing it a long time, I assume.
Yes, yeah. So when I was 13, I was, if you can imagine, sick with hepatitis A, and my grandmother, I know it was awful. Anyway, my grandmother brought in embroidery that was, the blue iron-on pot holders and things like that, and gave me needle and thread and showed me how to get started, and came back and she said, "Oh, that's beautiful. Now the key is to make your stitches really small and even." I was like, "Oh, okay." So, then it was all over, I think, at that point. And I love color. That's the other thing. I painted when I was young, and so I really love color. And so that probably, I could do conversions and kitted up stuff probably all day. That should be my retirement goal. But so then when found a little Christmas ornament kit at Walmart or whatever it was at the time, and learned how to cross stitch with a little tiny Christmas ornament. And I wish I still had it, but I don't know where it went. Probably in the trash or something. I'm not sure. And so I just did dimensions kits, and then I found a local needlework store. Well, first I found the Silver Needle, and I would place orders over the phone and do their New Year's Day sale over the phone. And in Austin, Texas, and did that one time. And Ada Works was a local needlework store in Louisville, Texas at the time as well. And so just got together, didn't really know about guilds or anything at that time. So didn't really do samplers at that time either. I was a shepherd's bush freak, so I have a ton of shepherd's bush up on another wall upstairs. And Still love shepherd's bush, still do.
They're
But
beautiful designs.
they're
Beautiful design.
gorgeous and so fun. They're just whimsical and fun, and I love the beads and all the different stitches that they do on a lot of their samplers. They have a lot of pulled thread, drawn thread, and different stitches, and so I learned a lot just from doing those. And so then I took a break because I was in school, CPA,
Here,
MBA.
Shelley, hang on just a second. I'm going to put you full screen, not Beth, but Shelley. Hi,
Okay.
Beth.
Hi, Beth.
Bye.
That way we can enjoy all the samplers. Yeah,
There they
we
are.
go.
Yep, there they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So took a break and then came back and went to another local needlework store, the Stitch Niche in Arlington, Texas, and started learning about reproduction samplers. And man, I was hooked immediately. And I guess they were more popular at that point as well. And then I got involved in Tutor Sampler Guild. That was the first guild that I knew about and got involved in. And there were a lot of the shop owner and a lot of people that went in the shop that were in that guild. And so now I have an amazing family of stitching friends from there, and I'm also an EGA member as well at Fort Worth and Dallas, both of those chapters too, and some other ones as well, Willow Tree in Houston and a couple others. So
Tell me about the Sampler Guild, because there's a big one in Atlanta too. I don't know about other parts of the country, but so that's all people who primarily stitch samplers. Do you get into a lot of the history, or is it just we like samplers so we get together and stitch them?
right. So 20 years ago, a group of stitchers said, we love EGA, but it doesn't focus primarily on samplers. And so a group of stitchers got together and they started the Tutor Sampler Guild. And we do not exclusively do samplers, but it's probably 80% of what we do.
Uh-huh.
And so we have workshops, and we've, had, the list of designers goes on and on. I might just point you to our website, and I say that to, of course, advertise for us, but
Oh, sure.
also, it's a plug, a shameless one, but also the blog there is amazing. It has just all kinds of needlework, but a lot of samplers. Robert Harris, I know a lot of you know who he is. He's a
he's
member
done a
of our
couple, huh?
guild. He's done a few, but not many. He's but we have a beautiful sampling of all different kinds of things on that blog on the website, and anyone in the public can see the blog. You don't have to be a member.
And this is the Tudor Rose Sampler Guild.
.com. Yes.
Sampler Guild, because I'll put this in the show notes then. So Tudor
Yep.
Road Sampler Guild.com.
.com.
All right.
Yes. And if you wanted to be a member, there is also that option on the website.
Yes.
Yes.
Encourage people to do that. And
Yes.
the blog is attached right to the website too?
It is. It's on the top. There's the banner across the top, and it's one of the options. But again, anyone can see the pictures.
Yeah. So it's you gather once a month, and then you have guests, and you have weekend stitch things and all kinds of things.
So prior to COVID, we met at different places in the Metroplex. It's the first Tuesday of each month, except for July. We take July off for vacation, and it starts at 7 Central Standard Time. But during COVID, we've obviously, like a lot of others, have gone completely online. Since we had our anniversary year in 2020, and it was our 20 year in 2020.
Holy smokes. So this thing's got some length to it. Wow. That's great.
Yeah, it is. It's really neat. And we had, Nicola did Jane Jackson for us prior to the public release. And she did a really nice personalized chart that's not available to the public, obviously, but We had also Heartstring Samplery do something for us. We had, let's see, Janine McGowan from the Blue Flower did some, the Tutor Bee and the Tutor Swan were ours exclusive.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the Zoe box, the
Oh,
virtual
the
workshop?
Zoe box was a workshop. That was an online workshop. It was not exclusive to us. That was just a project that one of our board members, our secretary, said, "Hey, I think this would be a fun project." And it was kind of more of a stitch along during the year. It was not just a one and done. They met weekly for a period of time, and they worked through the box. And the secretary, Deborah Besant, she helped with finishing and talked through how to do the finishing because she had done the box herself before it started. And so we do things like that as well. We're going to have another one coming up. Deborah wants to do another one. So we're figuring out what project we're going to do. So, we are not exclusively samplers, but we're going to have a lot of lectures this year that will focus on samplers. But all of our projects are different types of things.
Yeah.
We've had, Betsy Morgan. She came and did the her Christmas etui right before lockdown in February of 2020, and so
Just under the wire.
under the wire, yes,
I
yeah.
think,
So we do all different kinds of things.
oh, that's fantastic. So what is it about samplers that keeps your heart beating? I mean, obviously that just based on the wall there, you love to stitch them. Is it the history, or you just like it's just a design type that you like?
I think it's all of that. I think thinking back that there's people before us that had that same absolute passion that we do, and my grandmother's shared passion to me, that sparks it certainly. But I absolutely love the design and the color, and I love more than anything thinking through what fabric, what linen am I going to use? Am I going to change up the colors? Am I going to change up the types of thread that I use? Am I going to use silk? What kind of silk am I going to use? I'm very known for doing conversions. So when we go through some of my samplers, you'll get the gist. But
Okay.
I'm known for that. I like to do that. I like to change it up. But then sometimes I see something and I just do it exactly the way it is, even if it's 32 count 1/2 with, you know, all just exactly the way it is because
Right.
it just strikes me. And so I love a red sampler, adore it, but I also love color, just all all kinds of color, just
Yeah.
all kinds. But the
Co-
history is also just adds a layer on top.
okay. All right. Cotton or silk, and high count linen, low count.
All of the above.
Okay.
I'm not discriminatory, Gary. There is no silk crown here on this head. No, I say stitch what you love, and I really do pick out what I like. If it's cotton, over dyed cotton, DMC, doesn't matter. If that's the look, I go more for the look,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to find the color I want. And sometimes in conversions, it'll be more not the brand, but it's more, oh, this is the right color. But I do high count. You'll see in my parade, high count, low count, doesn't matter. Just I just do it because I love it and because I like it and because it's pretty.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's start looking at some of these.
Sure.
Okay, folks, down at the bottom of the screen now, I'm going to take it off. That's to enter the drawings tonight. An email for beads or an email for pot. One entry per, and you can do one, the other, or both. All right, so that's going away. All right, and make sure I get this right so we don't have. There we go. All right. So this is
Yep.
needlework press, right?
It is, and I'm starting with my favorite sampler of all time, and that is Isabella Johnstone by Needlework Press. And this was, I think, my first, if I recall right, I think this is my first reproduction sampler that I ever stitched. And it is today my absolute favorite. It hangs right next to my bed on my side, and I love it. It is on 32 count vintage country mocha, and it is with the classic Colorworks silk that's called for, and I did it 2/2. And some people get freaked out about that, but I like the intensity of the color in this situation, and so I stitched 2/2. And the best part of this sampler was that my border met and I didn't have to fudge it.
I would say, bravo,
I
bravo.
That's
know,
huge.
I know. It's like, it's not, now that doesn't always happen, but in this particular piece, it actually did meet up, and I was thrilled. But you know, there is that cow is just amazing, and the cow, you know, was, you took the I think it was Sister Scarlet silk, and you cut the dark pieces out of the skein to stitch the cow. So, you know, it was the first time I'd done that. I was like, now why are we doing that? It's like, okay, well, we're going to do that. That's what we're doing. So the cow is the dark part of a variegated skein of silk.
Yeah.
But I absolutely adore this sampler. I still do. I would stitch it again today if I wanted, you know, I would just do it if you handed it to me, because it's just, it's lovely. I just really enjoy it. And
And we got a picture of you
then
and
the next one,
you and
yes,
Vicky,
there.
yeah.
So I was at January Symposium, and I was telling her how much I love Isabella, and I know Michelle also has her picture with the antique, but Vicky was so sweet, and she brought the antique from her house the next day, and I got to take my picture with the antique. And so that was just, man, I was over the moon, because it's just gorgeous, really,
Yeah.
really pretty piece.
This
And
the antique, your version is not that far from the antique, is it?
no,
Wow.
it's not, and because as you can see, the antique is a pretty good size,
Yeah.
and it's in great condition, and it's just beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's really, really a beautiful piece, and I really appreciated her bringing that to me. But I've seen that sampler stitched. Robert stitched it, I think. No, maybe not. Somebody stitched it on really high count, and it's very small, and it still looks great. I mean, it's just a really, really beautiful piece.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Now,
What,
do you put your initials in your
No,
piece, or
I did not on this one, but I have, and as we go along, you'll see. So, you know, sometimes I take those liberties and kind of put stuff that's different, and I don't hold them sacred. But then there's some that I just don't want to, it's like I don't want to touch them. I don't want to change them in any way, and so I don't. So this particular one does not have my initials on it, but there are some that I do put my initials on it somewhere.
so you really let the sampler speak to you then.
Yes,
When you say
absolutely.
you let it speak to you and tell you how to do it. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. It just impresses me in a certain way, and like I said, it can be a different way each time. I mean, some of them, like I said, I hold it very exactly the way, and then others I go kind of, off on, do different things and totally crazy things, as you'll see in a minute. I really do, no kidding. But this one just, gosh, just really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Okay. And
Yeah.
Vicky's terrific. Yeah, she is.
Oh, she is so amazingly kind and generous and wonderful lady. absolutely wonderful lady.
And an absolute library of knowledge, I'll tell you
Oh
that.
gosh, yes, my word. Just very
Yep.
knowledgeable. Very
Yep.
knowledgeable.
All right, next one.
Well, this is my second favorite, another needlework press. So this is Martha Eddy's, and this is a Boston band sampler. And you can see the band right smack shape those are, but kind of
Try you lock you
rectangular, octagon something.
Shelley, you locked up there. You said you see
Oh,
the
sorry.
bands and then you locked up. What was it?
Sorry. The Boston band sampler. So the band in the middle, that is the different little geometric shapes, right, kind of in the middle, above and below the letters. They are samplers that are identified through what they believe was a teacher in Boston, the Boston area. This is not the only sampler that has that shape in it. And so they kind of figured out that there was a teacher. There must have been a teacher in the Boston area that several that was a teacher that the students stitched the same shapes.
Yeah.
I wish I could tell you what those other samplers are that have that band. I think, and I could be wrong, I think one of them might be the assembler has a chart as well with that same pattern to it, but I can't be for sure. But I know
Yeah.
there's a couple of others that are out there that you can stitch that do have the Boston band sampler. This one I did change it up a little bit. I did a conversion to Gloriana silks, and I had not actually finished this sampler when Vicki brought this one as well for me to see. And so, this one's on 40 count. I believe it's Vintage Meadow Rue by Lakeside, and Gloriana, I believe it's a silk conversion if I'm not mistaken.
And is that 1745 down there at the bottom?
Yes.
Man, that's old, huh? Wow.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of freehand you can see in stitching in those on the little flowers on each side. The leaves are freehand stem stitch, and I actually took a picture of the antique since Vicki brought it as well, and I copied it from there, and then my friend Carrie says, "Well, that's not freehand if you're copying," but I said, "I
Whatever
don't
works.
care. Okay, it's a copied freehand."
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, after I took the picture from Vicki, I blew it up on my phone and then I stitched it like the antique. So, but it's really a pretty. I think I love how the Gloriana worked on this piece. It just gave it that beautiful variegation, and then of course the amazing Lakeside linen is, you know, you just not comparable. But you can see there in that sawtooth satin stitch border the pink and how it fades in and out. It's just really Gloriana just made this piece for me. And
Yeah, and you
there's the
get
little band, Boston band sampler,
right.
or the Boston band right there.
And you get the eyelets and the satin stitch and then cross stitch for
Hmm.
alphabets. So you're getting three different.
Yes. Hmm. Yes.
Well, I have to say, when I
Yeah.
went through the pictures this afternoon, this one got written down. I got to own this one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it's not, ginormous, so it's very doable. And I take my time. I'm not a racer. I can't. I work and I work a lot, and so this is my outlet, and I don't race. I'm not monogamous either. I stitch whatever kind of floats my boat at the time. When I do get about 70% done on a sampler, though, I tend to just then it's kind of that tipping point for me,
Uh-huh.
and then I just like kind of it's just like that's it. It's like okay, I really want to finish this, and so that's kind of fun. But these band samplers are fun because you can do a band and then stop and go do something else and come back and do another band, and then when you're doing the bands in between the alphabets, they go super fast because they're just cross stitched straight across. It's just nothing. You don't even have to think about it. You just go, 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 go. And so that's why I like to keep them kind of going, is that it's just easy to pick them up, put them down, pick them up, put them down, and it's not hard to get them finished in a period of time. But I don't care. I just keep stitching until I'm done.
There's so
All right,
much
so
fun in
Shelley,
this. Oh, go ahead, Beth.
so Sandy wanted to know what kind of stitch is the alphabet below the band?
Oh, okay. Oh, those are eyelets. Yeah,
Okay,
those are
but
eyelets. Is that the band
go
she's
ahead.
talking about? That one?
I think so.
Yeah, eyelets.
Yeah,
Let us know if
eyelet.
that's not the band, Sandy.
The ones above are satin.
And it's all done in Gloriana, you think?
Yes. Oh, I know it is. Yes.
Okay. That's a gorgeous one.
Yeah, it's really a nice one.
Yep, it's on my list. You bet.
Yes. Yes. It's a good one. Needs to be on your list, Gary.
It is right now. Beth, did I
Yep.
mention Rosewood Manor 25% off? Never mind. Okay, next one.
And so this is the this is the antique of Martha Eddy's, and as you can see, it's just lovely. It's just beautiful. And that is also obviously in Vicky's collection. And she has it framed. I did not give Gary this picture, but she has it framed in a double paned, so you can see the back, clear glass in the front and back, so you can see the back and the front. And it's just beautiful. Just a beautiful, beautiful sampler.
That is
And
that's in remarkable shape.
I
Wow.
know, I was just going to say, it's in.
You locked
Did
up
we lose
again.
her?
You were going to say it's in great shape. Yeah.
Oh, it's in great shape. Yeah, great shape.
Because usually with these old ones, the satin stitch starts to come all apart.
Right, exactly. Or it has holes or something, in it. But no, it's in great shape. And there's the free hand that I copied. My not so free hand. My unfree
Hey,
hand.
You
you
did you
know,
did a you did a heck of a job with the colors. I really like what you did.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
so did you pull them yourself?
Oh yeah, I did that conversion myself. I'm just
Oh,
sure it's
okay.
not. I'm sure I did a conversion on this one. I'd have to go get it to be sure. I haven't done it in a while, but I'm pretty sure I did a silk conversion or an overdyed silk conversion.
Yeah, you really put some life in it. It's very nice.
Yeah,
Well, thank
it
you.
is.
Thank you. It's one of my favorites.
It's so cool to
See,
see the original and the reproduction too.
Yeah.
a- and see, Gary, see, there's a use for those variegated threads. Mac, he doesn't like the variegated threads as much, but see how
Oh.
nice that looks on some of those areas. It gives a little movement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, and not too much though. You don't want something that's really blotchy in color, but I
Right.
mean, it just looks really, it just adds to the piece.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really shows off in this sawtooth band here with the pink.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
really shows off, and then
Mm-hmm.
obviously in that Boston band, yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And it
Yeah.
doesn't overpower it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It does. It gives a really nice dimension to it and interest, I think. Now, again, to support Gary as well, there are times that all I want to stitch is with the Averiswa. I mean, and that's it.
Right.
So I kind of just get that vision and then I pick from that vision.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Well,
That's
thank
great.
you. Thank you very much.
Okay, next one.
All right. Well, this is the Scarlet House, the 7 sheep sampler. So this was a stitch along with Brendan Kirk before anybody knew who he was.
Okay.
This was like he was not as popular as he is now, and I didn't really know who he was. They started a stitch along on, I think it was Facebook, and I thought, oh man, I like this piece, so I'll do the stitch along as well. I don't think that he's finished his, and I think we started this in 2015 or something like that, 2016, somewhere in that neighborhood. But it is on 36 count double dyed autumn gold by Lakeside, and it's done with the called for Gloriana silks, and it's done 2/2
Mm-hmm.
because I just like the brightness of the color. And so, being on 36 count, I just said, well, okay, then I'll just do the 2/2. And so, I finished. I don't know how many people in the stitch along finished, but um, it it it's a obviously a good sized piece. Now the other story about this particular sampler is down at the bottom. So I took the liberty. Do you see the little sheep on the left that's black?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not how it's charted. So when my mother was talking to my nephew one day, and my nephew told my mom a story about a friend of his. And the friend asked my nephew, hey, Carter, who in your family is kind of like a black sheep, like kind of like a black sheep? And so my nephew says, well, kind of all of us. Lord Almighty. Oh, that tickled me beyond belief. So immediately from now on, if there is a sampler with sheep in it, one of them has to be black. So
Perfect.
that's my signature. So there's my little black sheep over by himself in the corner by the tree. But I still to this day laugh about, well, all of us are, and so that included me. So there we are, all of us
There we
in
go.
my little family, my little black sheep family, right there.
Yep.
So I did take liberty.
Yep. Yep. Interesting that the border on this one starts in a pot and ends in a pot.
Yes,
It does not go around
yes,
the bottom.
yes, yes, and my border did not match. So
Ah,
I
Rat.
just say it. I'm saying I'll give you the famous words of Robert Harris. My borders always match somehow.
yeah. Yep.
That's good to know.
Yes.
Good to
So
know.
even the greats struggled to get borders to match, but it was close. So no one will notice. No one can
No.
probably
No.
find it.
Hey, if somebody has that
Oh,
kind of time, they need a life.
yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But this
This
was a
is a
fun
great
one.
little sampler.
Sure
I
Yeah.
love
is.
the
Well,
acorn tree and
yes, the
and
acorn tree.
it's just and those people, the
Yes,
guy
the
with his
people.
hat.
Yes. And I believe that Tanya made a little freebie like needle book that was, or not needle book, but pincushion that was the little girl, I think. Pretty sure she did that.
Yeah.
I I didn't stitch it after I finished this. I was kind of ready to move on, but um, it's good size. It's not small. It's a good size.
Yeah.
And all that
Beautiful.
pink.
Yes, a ton of
I
pink.
love
Yeah,
pink.
there's
I
really
love
just
pink.
almost five colors. It's the gold, the green, the pink, the brown, the white. It's got very few colors in it.
Used effectively,
Nice.
though. Really effective. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Beautiful. All
Yeah.
right.
All right,
Next
moving
one.
on. Now, Gary, this one's for you.
Sarah B. Yep.
Yeah, this one's for you. So the story on Sarah B is that I was listening to Fiber Talk back when you had Christine Walker as your co-host,
Uh-huh.
and Sarah B, but she was gonna do wild, like she was gonna dye the linen, I think navy blue or something like that, and then
Yeah.
she was gonna use Krynic and metallics, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so I was listening to you back then and her, and I thought, you know what? Christine has something going there. I am going to bling my Sarah up too. So I did an over dyed silk conversion, and then all of the little fireflies have Krynic metallic, and all of the crowns have metallic, and all of the butterflies have metallic.
Oh,
Now, I wish you could see it, but you can't.
yeah.
So it just does not show up. But it just really is fun. And then I used though the Veriswa on the border, the solid border.
Mm-hmm.
I used a Veriswa because I wanted that piece of the border to be solid. I didn't want it to have a variegation in it. So that solid part of the border is a Veriswa, and then the rest of it is the overdyed Gloriana. Well, not just Gloriana. There's several different. I really had to work to do this conversion because there were so many colors.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just were a lot. But majority of them are Gloriana. But I had to work at it. But all the satin stitches are solid, and then the rest of it is Gloriana, and then Gloriana with Krynic to bling her out.
Yep. That's a neat idea. Yeah.
It is.
But
What a great idea.
but I can thank Christine for that. And I started. Oh, it's on 40 count R&R Ligonier Latte, and I started it when it came out. It was the Queen of the May, and I take my time. I rarely rush for anything except Christmas ornament exchanges, and just kept plugging away. She sets, off for a while, and well, you can see tiny bit of bling in that crown right there, tiny
Yeah.
bit,
Yeah. It shows up. It's really
just a little bit.
frustrating that the photography
Yes.
leaves that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it shows up in that crown right there a little
Yes.
bit. Yeah. You can see a
Yes.
little,
Yeah.
little
Just
life to it.
a
Yeah.
little bit right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it took me forever, but it was just, didn't have to be in a hurry, and
Right. Oh, she's
took
a
my
big one.
time.
She's a
Yeah.
big one. Yep.
Yeah. So you can dig yours out, Gary.
Yeah. It's wrapped
And
up
the
carefully.
yes, I'm sure. And the little birds on the top, raptor roadkill, I think is what somebody called them, because we never could figure out what they were.
Yeah.
But they just didn't look. We were like, what is that? We don't know. So look kind of like a raptor or something. We don't really know.
I like
but
raptor roadkill. That's got a nice
yeah,
ring
raptor
to it.
I
roadkill.
like that
That's
one.
what
I
it
like
is.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the deer, bless his heart, looks like he's had some pot, because look
I
at
know. I
his
know.
eyes. His eyes. I know. His
I always
eyes
struggled
all
with that.
bugged
Yeah.
out. Yeah, he has these ginormous eyes that look like he's had a fuse or something. But yeah, my husband got a big kick out of the stag. He thought that was funny.
Yeah.
He said, "What are those squirrels giving that deer?" I said, "I don't know, but he looks like he's had a few
Yep.
too many."
He's enjoying life. There's no doubt. Yeah.
Yes, yes. definitely.
All right, well, that's beautiful. Has that been
Well,
framed
thank
or is
you.
it stored away?
No, it's sitting next to me in a plastic bag. I
Okay.
am. I'm gonna frame it. I just haven't. I don't know. I've carried it around, showing it off. It's like you want to show it, and take it on a road show, but if I frame it, I can't do that. So,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
but no, I'm going to frame it. Yes,
Do you have
but it is
do
not.
you have a
Yeah.
custom frame shop or what do you do for framing?
I go to a couple of different places in the Metroplex. I've taken it to a local needlework store. I've also taken it to a framing shop um, that just does framing, and that's it. But I do interview them and ask them if they've done do you do needlework? Have you done
Yeah.
needlework in the past? And usually it's upon a recommendation from a fellow stitcher. I
Yeah.
don't usually just go off and try my own. I get recommendations, and so um, I'll I haven't quite decided who to take it to yet. So
Yeah. Shelley, just a second. I got to get Marga on the. Hang on just a second.
okay.
Yeah, someone's trying to spam. Anyway, it's a beautiful piece. I can
Morgan?
Oh,
see why
thank
you
you.
want to
Log on and
take it
tell
and
us
show
something
it
cool.
around.
Yes, yeah. Well, you hate to show off, but it's more sharing, It's not that
Right.
I'm not this great stitcher because I'm really not. I mean, I know some that are, gosh, I know many more stitchers that are better than I am as far as technique and their the range of stitches that they know and know how to do. I still kind of muddle along a little bit as far as that goes, and but I just enjoy sharing. I love show and tell. I love seeing other
Hmm.
people. I love for them to
Hmm.
bring their work and show me because it's just so encouraging and it's just so fun to share. And so I wanted to I had taken it to the attic to summer school or something, and it was half done. And they were all, teasing me, "Are you going to finish that up tonight?" Um, and so my goal was to finish it and take it back and show it to Jean. And then COVID happened and I was going to drive it out there. And I thought, oh gosh, I don't know that I want to drive to Phoenix, Arizona very bad during COVID. So I waited and I took it with me when we did summer school this past 2021 and um, showed it to her then. And so it's just fun to share because they have a share night at summer school. And man, talk about a share night. Good grief. There's just some absolute amazing things there.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you.
And congratulations just on simply
Thank,
finishing it. Yeah.
thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Perseverance.
That's right. All
Hmm.
right. Here's the next one.
Okay. Yes. So we had Paulette of Plum Street Designs come and do a um, workshop for us in 2013. As you can see, TRSG is Tutor Rose Sampler Guild 2013. I did not finish it in 2013. I finished it much later than that in 2019, I think. But she designed this piece for our workshop for our Tutor Rose Guild, and it has Tutor Rose on it, and it's the Crown Bird Sampler. And I did the kit, which she had kitted it up with 36 count, I think, Vintage Meadow Rue from Lakeside. And it was also done in classic colorwork silks. And I did 2/2 instead of 1/2. And because again, I liked the intensity of the color. And then I put my signature black sheep and
Right
um,
there. Yep.
right there, yeah. And then as you can see, my initials are actually on this one. Oh, I finished it in 2020. So, but I wanted to
Because you had
remember,
time.
yes, I had all the time in the world to finish it. but I did put the Tutor Sampler Guild 2013 because I wanted to remember the workshop and when we did the workshop. But it was a really fun time, and it's I think it's a beautiful sampler that she designed.
Yeah, it
Just
really is.
really, really pretty.
Now this is
And
Plum Street. This is Plum Street. Beth, did I mention that Plum Street charts?
it's 25. It might be, this chart might be 25% off at Sassy Jack's.
Just make a note, Beth. Just make a note.
I'll make a note. I'm making a note now.
Max is going through her purse right now, getting all of her cards out.
All of her cards. Oh gosh.
He's not here. He's not here, guys.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I love this house.
Yes, I love the house. Love the house.
And
I did have a
and
boo-boo.
I like the crowns.
Yes, the crowns. I had a boo-boo there on the left with the crown. I stitched it in the wrong place and I picked it out, and the Classic Colorworks Sister Scarlet left red on the fabric, and so I had to stitch 2 crowns on that one side to cover up the red dye that had bled over onto the linen.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's just, I don't know that it does that anymore, but it happened. And so that was a recovery crown.
Sure.
But it was a fun one. The border, you know, it's one of those borders that are gorgeous, but man, just so many color changes and kind of, you know, tricky.
Yeah, it
But,
really is nice, though. It really is nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I love the colors are gorgeous. It's just beautiful. The whole thing is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a really pretty one.
Yep. That's great. Okay, on we go.
All right. Yep, on we go. Snooty Parrot, Barbara Anna Designs. Now this one is so fun because so many people have done their own, you know, twist to it. A friend of mine didn't like pink, and so she converted the pinks into reds. So this was a fun one to do some of personalization. I did bling up the crowns on the parrots, so the parrots have chronic crowns. You kind of can see, not very good. And then I put my husband and my initial and my own initials on there. And then I put my dog and my husband's dog, and we had 3 dogs at the time. And so I put a little extra dog to the right of the house, an extra dog to the right of the house because we have 3. And then my signature black sheep is on the other side,
There
it is,
Yep.
laying under the tree by himself. So, but
That's really cool. That's really cool that you have that going. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, it just cracks me up, you know, just makes me laugh. So anyway, that's a fun one to do. And the design has just got, you know, everything. Adam and Eve, house, parrots, deer, birds, lions, everything. It's wonderful. It was a fun piece.
And whose reproduction is this? I missed that.
It's not a reproduction. It's an original sampler from Barbara Anna Designs.
Okay. I'm writing that down.
All right. Yeah, it's a fun one.
A pause while I write that down.
Yes, we will
But
pause.
it's not on sale. It's not on sale.
no.
You're still going to be able to get it.
It's not 25% off at Sassy Jack's? Oh, man.
I don't think so.
Not yet.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, and I love the name and I love those parrots. I think they're
Yes,
fabulous.
the parrots are so fun. They were really fun.
That's great. Okay.
Yeah, it was a good one. All right, so I know you're Laura and Brenda say you have to always have a red. It's the law. You have to have a red sampler going all the time, and I do. But there's another reason that you should have a monochromatic sampler going all the time because it is very fun and easy to travel with. You only have one color, and so you don't have to have all those bags of thread and worry about changing. You can thread up 10 needles and just go to town. And when you're traveling, it really is nice. So this was my travel piece for quite some time. And this is Urselia's sampler by Samplers in My Attic, which is Jean Lee's collection, from Jean Lee's collection. And this sampler, and now I wish I had added a picture of the original antique, but if you go to the attic, it's in a table, it's like in a glass case, but it's in a very large canvas. It doesn't look anything like this. It's in a very large, really large, wide canvas, and it's beautiful, but doesn't look anything like this. But it is an Italian sampler, and in her, as I said, it's at her store. If you go there, you might miss it because it's in a very, it's not hanging on the wall. It's in a little glass table, but it was a very fun piece, and it's on 40 count maritime white by Lakeside and Gloriana Schoolhouse red. And it was a very nice piece, and it brings back a lot of memories of trips that I took that I had, the sampler with me and worked on it, and Santa Fe and Phoenix, and just different places that I went. I just brought it with me and worked on it and got it finished.
I'm looking
we
at
haven't
the.
asked you.
Oh, go ahead.
We did ask, do you work in a hand or in hoop or scroll bars?
Oh, I'm one of those Q-snap people. I
Okay.
do use a rollist frame, but not very often. I do use them, but I'm a Q-snap person, and when I'm done,
Hmm.
they just look terrible. They're all folded up and they look like a mess, but it just works for me.
Hmm.
It's lightweight. It's easy for me to get my hands around it. I do use, put a little frame weight on it and stitch it, and so I'm a Q-snap girl, and I've never had any trouble. I've heard people have had horror stories, but I use paper towels. I fold up a paper towel, and I put it on the linen, on top of the linen, and then put the Q-snap on it. And I've never had any trouble with it, and so that's what I use.
Yeah, I think that's almost essential with Q snaps is to put felt or like paper towel or whatever between the linen and the actual Q snap. I think that's almost a difference maker with those things.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's definitely something I've always done to protect the linen.
Yeah.
So
I love at the bottom where HI, I assume J was not part of the alphabet then, but the K didn't get in. So between the V and the W, we just drop the K in there. It'll
yeah,
be okay.
yeah, it'll be good. Why not? It's a good place for it.
Sure.
It'll be fine. Just don't worry about it.
Maybe that's some Italian thing that we don't know about. Some
Yeah.
mystery Italian thing. Who knows? But I saved the little chicken and the anchor and the bee and the swan for the last because they were so much fun to stitch.
Yeah. You really, when you get those Italian samplers, you really get a different alphabet. You really get some flair to it. It's neat. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. Beautiful. That was it, right?
Thank you.
No.
No,
Oh,
there's a
what am I
couple more.
doing? What am I doing? We aren't
Yeah,
even
I don't know.
close.
I can hurry if you need me to.
No, no,
So,
no, no.
okay, so this is a China doll that my grandmother made for me. She did the head and the arms and legs and sewed it together. And so, when we were at summer school a couple of years ago, Linda Danielson of Samplers Remembered had a little tiny, she had done a tiny miniature sampler, Mary Beavis, on 56 count. And so I thought, you know what? My doll needs a sampler too. So I
Yes.
so I stitched Mary Beavis on 56 count, and the border is over 2, but the letters are over 1, and it's a full cross over 1 on 56 count. I wouldn't recommend it unless you have some really, really good magnification. And then further torture, I decided, oh, it needs to be hem stitched. So not just whip stitched, hem stitched. And so I hem stitched the border, and that was more torture that I really would not recommend doing at all.
But that is beautiful. That is
Thank you. It's
just
so tiny.
fabulous.
It's just so tiny. When I go back on camera, I'll show you how tiny it is. But it was so fun. And I absolutely love that sampler. And so I'm going to stitch the regular size, meaning for like 40 count one as well. But she had done a version of it, and she had it on display for summer school with a doll. And so I thought, oh gosh, I've got to do that. So that is my dolls, Mary Beavis sampler on Kingston 56 count, and I think it's cream.
Wow.
Pretty sure it's cream. And that is Tutor silk. Tutor silk. I think that's crimson, I think. And the border is cherry tart and evergreen.
It is so cool. It's just really a great presentation. It really is.
It is nice.
Yeah.
Very
Fun.
nice.
Different.
Yep. Excellent. All right.
All right, so I have 2 antique samplers, and this is one of them. I wish I'd crop myself out. But anyway, this is
Let me see if I can help.
Thank you,
No.
Gary.
Nope, it won't go big enough. Sorry.
It won't go big enough. Okay, well, this is Sarah Ann Banton, and I bought this sampler from Nicola's collection. And I don't want you to spend a whole lot of time on this picture because I have reproduced this one. I didn't. That's not true. Let me step back. My friend Michelle Lughart did. Cozy, if you know Cozy Egg on FlossTube and Instagram and Facebook, she reproduced this piece for me for our guild's 20-year anniversary year. And this was the final reveal that we had. We had a reveal every month that year from different designers, and this was the last one. Oh. And so if you flip to the next page, you can see, now I did not stitch this, give full credit, Michelle stitched her own model. So Michelle, thank you for that, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. She stitched this on 40 count Weeks Dye Works putty and with a Veriswa silk. And you can get the chart in PDF format on cozyeggdesigns.com website. And at the top, it has patterns. And you can do a download of this reproduction. But I just love this piece. I bought the original, and I just fell in love with it because it had literally everything. It has flowers, birds, butterflies, squirrels, baskets of flowers, freehand. You're going right on the freehand right there, Gary. You can see the little vine with the satin stitch is freehand.
Oh, okay, yes.
So it does have a little tiny bit of freehand, and then you have cherubs, you have Adam and Eve, you've got crowns. It's just got it all. And there's just not a whole lot that it doesn't have. Deer, the stag, it's got that. And Michelle did an absolutely amazing job of reproducing it. And I love the border. The border was just so beautiful as far as having all those different flowers. It just, I just thought it was so beautiful. And she did shortened it. She took the top part off because it is a very large sampler. And we thought, well, maybe people might be more encouraged just to stitch from that break in the border and down to cut off some of the size to it, because it is a very large sampler, but it is beautiful, and she did an amazing job. But I have to show it off because it's just so beautiful. She did a great job.
And this is at Cozy Egg, as in EGG,
Yes, yes,
CozyEggDesign.com. Okay.
yes, COZYEGG designs.com.
Yeah, this is really nice. I can see why you're so
Yeah.
proud of it.
Yes, it's really pretty. And I love those vases, the striped vases. Those were just
Right.
great.
And I like the carnation row
Mm-hmm.
up on top.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that is lovely.
Mm-hmm. But you could do that basket of flowers as just a motif by itself, and it would be lovely. And it's got some satin. I think the basket has got satin stitch in it. I think, but
This
Okay,
this right here, this segment right here
mm-hmm.
would be, if you wanted to do a
Yeah,
smaller one, that would be a really nice.
yes, you
Yeah.
could do that
mhm.
too. Absolutely, yes, you could easily do that
Yeah.
because you can
So,
replicate the carnation border right underneath the
Right.
basket.
Yep. That would be a really nice smaller piece. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
all right. So Dee asked again, who's the designer?
Um, well,
Charted it.
yes, she goes by Cozy Egg, COZYEGG, like an egg, Cozy Egg. Designs.com is her website, and that's where you can get the PDF download for it. But her name is Michelle, and it's Luke Hart. Don't
Mm.
ask me to spell it. Leuh something. Sorry. It's German, and I have a hard enough time pronouncing it correctly, but she's on FlossTube. She's on does FlossTube. She does Facebook, Instagram,
It's a
and her
beautiful,
her
beautiful
progress.
segment.
Her progress of it she showed during her floss tubes. So you can you could watch her as she progressed along while she was stitching it.
Boy, it's terrific. Really nice. Beautiful colors.
That's nice. Lovely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yay. Okay.
Last one, Gary. This is
Oh,
the
this.
best. Save the best for last.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah, I
yep,
saw that one.
yep.
Mhm.
So this is the other antique that is in my collection. It is Jane Ann, and it is a Bristol sampler. And again, it's that red cow. I blame it on the red cow. I just saw that and just loved it. Absolutely loved it. So bought it at auction. Got up in the middle of the morning, in the middle of felt like the night, and got on there and bid way more than I ever thought I should. But hey, you know, I don't need a lot of things, so I just said, you know what, this is going to be a splurge. So here it goes, and I got it, and then I had it shipped over to the United States, and it came in a box that looked like somebody had run over it with a truck.
Oh, oh.
Oh, no. Oh,
I
no.
know. And so I gently opened the box. It already had a hole in it, by the way, and gently opened the box, and there she was, just as nice as could be, just folded up, and at least they put it in a plastic bag. That was nice.
Hmm.
Wow, that's
Oh,
and it's in really
So,
great shape too.
um, yes, so I had done a lecture about Bristol samplers because I had studied George Mueller, and I didn't even know anything about the orphans or how it connected with my love of samplers until really recently, till Claudia Dutcher Kistler did her. I heard her talk, but Claudia's helped me do some research on Jane Ann, and Michelle Cozy Egg Designs is going to reproduce this. It's in reproduction as we speak.
Oh,
And
great.
so, yeah, so she'll have it on her website as soon as she gets finished with that. I'm I'm not rushing her, and I don't. There's no need to. But whenever she is finished, it will be out on her website as well. And so it is being reproduced. And I have framed it. That is a picture, I think, from the auction house, if I'm not mistaken. But I have framed it, and it's in a plastic on the back and museum glass on the front, so that you can see the front and the back.
What's the difference in the intensity of the thread color? Is it very much?
No, it's not. It's
Oh,
not a lot. Maybe a tiny bit, but not a lot. Now, it's not, obviously you can tell from this picture, it's not a profound red like schoolhouse red, but I forget what color Nicola used, the color that I want to use on the model, and I can't remember the number, but it's a little bit of a softer red, and I'm going to do it on 56 count, so it's Swassifine, but Nicola used it on one of her Bristol reproductions, maybe the Pickernell sisters, I can't remember exactly, but it's not just that intense red, it's more of a little bit more subtle red that I'm going to use to do the model.
Okay, here, I got a couple of questions here. Well, first,
Okay.
a statement. Kim Young says, gorgeous Bristol, Shelley. Bring it when
Thank
you
you, Kim.
come.
Oh, okay, I will. I'll do
Okay,
that.
and then Melanie Rayner asks, what are the measurements of this Bristol?
Oh, okay.
Do you know?
So yes, I do. So I before I had it framed, I took it to the attic, and Jean could hardly keep her hands off of it. It was so fun. She didn't take. I had it in a plastic Ziploc bag, but she didn't take it out of the bag. But she measured the stitch count, and it's like 76, 78 or something like that.
holy
It's just
smokes.
it's like, like I know Nicholas talked about, it's like a bed sheet is probably what it's stitched on, but the actual measurements are 11 by 11, about that neighborhood. So it's just tiny. I mean, those little stitches are so tiny. So if you can imagine 11 by 11, and so it's what, in the, I don't know, 300 plus range
Yeah.
stitch count, and
Mm-hmm.
that. So, but it's almost a perfect square, almost, but not quite. But
Okay,
Well,
and then
I'm sorry,
we have
I just
another
learned.
question.
Okay.
What year, Shelley wants to know, what year is Jane in?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't 18. I don't know. Gary, can you scoot up? I think it's at the bottom.
yeah,
I'm
I don't have
sorry. I
much.
should know. Yeah, there it is.
It won't go
1847.
much bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, 1874, I think, is what that says. I can't remember. I should know. It's my own sampler. But anyway, it's 1871 or 4. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
it looks like, yeah. I was
Yeah,
going to say 4. Yeah.
right. And I was going to mention the other endearing thing about this particular sampler is that, um, they put the bed numbers, they were assigned bed numbers when they went into the orphanage. And oftentimes they would put, one bed number by their name. Usually, probably, we assume that it was their bed number. But Jane put in 11 bed numbers. So she put all of her little friends' bed
Oh,
numbers on her sampler.
Oh,
And
how sweet.
I know, it just grips your heart, doesn't it? And I just think about how sometimes we have samplers that we put our family initials on, or our friends, our stitching friends, initials on. And so that's not a new concept. Jane put all of her friends' bed numbers. Where's Waldo? Because you really have to hunt to find all the 11. It's like, can how many bed numbers are there? Can you find can you find them? Because they're just tucked into these little spaces, and makes me wonder if, as she was stitching, if she had another friend, she just found a spot to to stitch the bed number. Um,
oh, I
but
saw. Oh, I see him now. Okay.
uh-huh,
Okay.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. And so Claudia has done some research for me on this, and she thinks that the little girl's last name is Pig, Pigg, and so we're going to do some more research before we produce the PDF. But Claudia's been an amazing resource, and she's so kind, and was wanting to know who bought it after the auction, and of course I had met Claudia at the Bristol retreat weekend at Sassy Jack's, and so it was just fun to talk to her about it, and sent her pictures of it, and to learn about Jane Ann. It was really fun. So this one is just keep your eyes out. It'll be out in PDF soon.
Okay. Excellent. Wow. That's
Yes,
fantastic.
yeah, that's a fabulous one.
All right, back on
Thank
camera,
you.
everybody. Back on camera. There we go. Oh, that was so much fun. Oh, can we see the doll?
Oh, well, I didn't do the doll, but here's
Oh, all
Here's
right.
the-
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
there's the sampler.
Oh, there it is. Oh,
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, tiny.
It is.
tiny.
Oh,
wow. What a great idea.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Excellent. Well, Shelley, thanks so much for doing this. This has been a blast. Thank you.
Well, thank you. It was
Yeah.
really fun to do. I
Yep.
appreciate you all letting me do this. It was fun.
Oh, we enjoyed it. I think
Well,
everybody in the audience did too.
Well,
Yep.
I hope so.
think so.
And I really do want to say thank you for what you do, Gary. You help promote our love and our art. It is art. It is absolutely art. No one should ever say anything different. And it's been a renewed thing, and you've helped that along, and your show is amazing. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you. Yep. Yep.
thank you.
Okay. Shelley, thanks. Thanks to everybody for joining us. We're really glad hope you enjoyed it, and glad to have you along tonight. I'll be back next Wednesday with Kathy Ray. So thanks again, Shelley. Really appreciate it.
Thank
All right.
you.
We're out, everybody. Bye.
Bye.